Namaste, my name is Ruchi Rajore. I'm a yoga and meditation expert with years of training in the field. One of the most common questions that I'm asked in my classes is how to get a good sleep. My question would be, what is a real indication that you have slept well or rather rested well? Number one would be that you felt rejuvenated in the morning with lesser aches and pains or not at all. Number two is how you felt during the day. Were you active, enthusiastic, positive? In yoga, we say sleep is one of the factors that promotes subtle life force energy or the prana. So, ideally, one should be sleeping about 7 to 9 hours a day. And usually, when we don't get good sleep, we are grumpy, we are irritated. In simple words, we have mood shifts. It affects our central nervous system, and this leaves our brain exhausted. Can we really think effectively or make the right decision in this state? Immune system. While you sleep, your immune system produces protective infection fighting substances like antibodies and cytokines. Respiratory system has a two-way relationship with sleep. We have heard of sleep apnea that can interrupt your sleep, and sleep deprivation leaves you more vulnerable to respiratory infections. Let us look into digestion. Sleep affects the levels of two hormones called leptin and ghrelin. Leptin tells the brain that you have eaten enough. Without enough sleep, the brain reduces leptin and increases ghrelin, which is your appetite stimulant. So, this explains why one may overeat later in the night. Sleep deprivation also causes your body to release less insulin after you eat, and insulin is what regulates the blood sugar levels. So, this may lower the body tolerance for glucose and is associated with insulin resistance. Cardiovascular health. There have been studies that linked insomnia to an increased risk of heart rate and stroke. So, here are some tips that I will share with you that will help you improve your sleep hygiene and prepare a perfect environment to catch up some Z's. Things you should do. Dim lights. The real key factor to regulate sleeping and waking cycle is your sleep hormone called melatonin, which is triggered by darkness. So when it is dark at night, less light going into your retina, then your pineal gland converts serotonin into melatonin, which will make you tired and sleepy. Dimming lights 2 hours before your sleep time, in fact, after sunset, would be great. Candlelight is great in the evenings as well. Our genes, remember, are also not designed for bright lights. But today we have bright lights coming from television, computer screens, and phones. The blue light actually alters the body's production of melatonin. Switch on yellow light filter in your mobile phones after sunset. Use window shades or blinds to block light from outside, and make sure the indoors are pitch dark for ideal sleep. Consistent sleep and food cycle. According to Ayurveda, the hours between 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. are governed by Pitta dosha, which allows you to digest all things from food to information and emotions. We also call it the liver detox time. So when you skip sleep during this precious 4-hour window, you miss a vital opportunity to heal. Make sure you're in bed by or before 10 p.m. and also it's useful to go to bed at the same time each night and wake up at the same time. You may spend an hour before sleeping into relaxing activities like reading, listening to music or chants, or maybe taking a warm bath. People ask, when should we eat? Dinner before sunset is ideal. As much as possible, avoid eating heavy meals before your bedtime. If that is not feasible, then I would recommend wrap up your dinner about 8:30ish. After your meal, it is advisable to take a light stroll. In our scriptures, we call it Shata Pauli. Shata means 100, Pauli means walking. So it is believed by experts that walking about 100 steps after your dinner or lunch can improve your digestion, has better control over your blood sugar levels and triglycerides in your body. These are your fat cells, by the way. If you can't ignore sounds, then I would recommend you use earplugs.
Ayurveda and Vastu recommends the head to be pointing the east or preferably the south direction. When we sleep with the head pointing towards the north, it interferes with the electromagnetic wave of the earth, and this may cause high blood pressure or other problems. Sleep hygiene that one can follow is unclutter the space around your bed. Just before sleeping, sit and recap the whole day step by step. Be grateful for what you have and what you don't have, and snooze off to deep Ujjayi breaths as you lie down.
Keeping the temperature of your room consistently comfortable and cool. Not only darkness but also the cold stimulates melatonin. I sleep around 20 degrees, and this may vary from person to person, a few degrees up and down. Vitamin D. Body synthesizes natural vitamin D through the sun rays. To make melatonin work effectively, expose your body parts for 15-20 minutes to the sun. You can go for a brisk walk, jog, do Surya Namaskars in your balcony. If morning hours are busy for you, then you can sit in the sun any time of the day. Make sure you're not wearing glasses or sunscreen. You can close your eyes, swing your body left to right, and feel the sun rays entering into your eyes. This triggers the pineal gland to convert melatonin into serotonin. It's important to switch on melatonin as well. And this has a major impact on your melatonin rhythms and can result in uplifted mood, good amount of energy, and happiness. Melatonin is also very important for your immune system, and this also explains why people who fall sick often usually have low levels of vitamin D or melatonin. As we age, melatonin decreases. This also explains that how or why people get lesser sleep when they age and are more susceptible to diseases or viruses. Sun gazing at the time of sunset or sunrise is extremely beneficial for the eyes, for the mind, and the entire system. Keep stress at bay. High cortisol, your stress hormone, shuts down melatonin. So when you go to bed at night, we go through 4 waves of sleep called the circadian rhythms, from superficial REM sleep to deep delta sleep called the deep sleep. Now, with high level of cortisol, you end up getting fragmented sleep, insomnia, or shortened overall sleep time. You will wake up in the middle of the night around 1 a.m. or 2 a.m., and that's the time you should be actually getting deep sleep. So how do we reduce stress? Through yogic practices, pranayamas, Ujjayi breath pranayam, full yogic breath. Check out my videos on pranayams on my YouTube channel. Sudarshan Kriya, a unique, powerful breathing technique, has a profound impact in relaxing the nervous system that will enable us to get a better quality sleep. Along with facilitating Sudarshan Kriya programs, I also practice it myself every single day. And believe me, or millions across the globe who have shared that it has cleared up stresses from the physical, mental, and emotional levels and much more. There have been hundreds of researches on Sudarshan Kriya, so go on Google and search for them today. And check out the details for my next Sudarshan Kriya Art of Living Happiness and Meditation program online or offline. Meditate daily. According to research done in the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, insomniacs who practiced regular meditation saw improvements in their total sleep time, sleep efficiency, and sleep quality. So practicing meditation can help you sleep better without any side effects.
People who meditate every day tap into the source of energy within them. They share that they sleep for 6 hours or so and still feel fresh and rejuvenated in the morning.
If you have piled up stresses, I would also recommend you to do advanced meditation program by the Art of Living. I facilitate the Shishi Yoga Level 2 program. It's a detox program which has proved beneficial for lakhs across the globe. It detoxes not just the body or the liver, but also your mind. And people have shared that it has improved their sleep quality as well. I highly recommend this program to you. Exercise is a great stress buster for many. It could be playing your favorite sport or doing a Zumba in your favorite number. I would personally wear my sneakers and get out of the house, do brisk walk, be amidst nature and fresh air. Sometimes cardio and HIIT also helps. So do the activities that you love to do and avoid negative people and negative news as much as possible. This can really drain your energy levels. This brings me to my next point: exercise. Over the years, our physical work has reduced. Unlike in olden days, we would be grinding our own masalas, washing our own clothes, or planting our own trees and making our own veggies grow in the garden. But today we have washing machines, food processors, vehicles to go to the market. So I have already mentioned various ways of doing exercise. So if you have a sedentary lifestyle, make sure you have some movement around your desktop. Stand up after every 20 minutes, go to your balcony, get some fresh air, go to your kitchen if you are at home to grab some water. My desktop yoga sessions and Sukshma Vyam sessions are on YouTube. Do check them out. These relaxing sessions, along with some restorative yoga, would really help you out. In my yoga class, we also learn the right way to breathe, to meditate, some relaxing yoga nidras, and some valuable knowledge like this. So, whenever you get time, experience Shishi Yoga classes with me. Things to avoid: avoid too much caffeine, tea, chocolates. These are stimulants. Caffeine will also obstruct the production of melatonin. Avoid smoking and alcohol. This is common sense. After consuming alcohol, people are knocked out for a long time, and also hinders with rapid eye movement phase of the sleep, which is responsible for you to feel fresh and energetic. That's why people share that they have a hangover after having alcohol and they don't feel fresh, isn't it? Avoid sugary drinks, food with added sugars, and refined carbs as much as possible. Just as sleep affects our blood sugar levels also impact our sleep quality. So when you eat sugar, they rise up. This makes the pancreas release insulin, which actually works on getting the sugar back to your cells, giving them a fuel to run on. Eating sugar late at night overstimulates you. It gives you energy and makes you ready for activity, but this is not what we want. We are actually designed to shut down during the night time. So sugar also uses up a lot of magnesium, which actually you need for sleep. Reduce electromagnetic waves around your body at night, as it decreases melatonin production from your pineal gland and also prevents you from getting deep sleep. So if you have a switchboard around your bed, get it removed. But if you cannot avoid that, at least unplug all your devices. Use a battery clock alarm rather than using your gadgets, and keep your gadgets away from your body, preferably in another room and in airplane mode. Along with lifestyle changes, we also need to look into some of the foods that can give us the right amount of rest. Number one would be turmeric. No surprises here. From fighting inflammations to supplying ample antioxidants, turmeric does it all. It is one of the most common Ayurvedic medicinal spices widely used to aid in sleep quality. So, consuming anti-inflammatory golden milk, aka haldi doodh, is your bedtime go-to. For haldi milk, you need a cup of warm milk with a dash of turmeric, of course, some green cardamom, cinnamon stick, and a pepper or two. We know the active ingredient in pepper helps in better absorption of curcumin, which is the active ingredient in turmeric. You may add some almonds as well, as they are very good source of melatonin and magnesium. Warm milk is a common home remedy for sleeplessness. Milk contains sleep promoting compounds like tryptophan, calcium, vitamin D, and melatonin. So check out my video on immunity boost, where I've talked about more natural superfoods and how you can be a better version of you. This video is definitely worth sharing. Some people consume chamomile, as it is known to produce a calming effect due to an antioxidant called apigenin. Apigenin attaches itself to the brain receptors that promotes sleepiness. You also need to see if that taste suits you. We know food is information, food is medicine. Some of the key minerals that you can get from food that would help you sleep better are potassium. Potassium is a physiological tranquilizer. It calms you down. Body requires a large amount of potassium per day, and you can get it from your vegetables. So include a lot of veggies and different kinds of veggies like root veggies, cruciferous, green leafy vegetables, colored vegetables in your diet. An average human being eats about 1 to 1.5 cups of veggies per day, but actually you should be eating 7 to 10 cups of veggies. Not kidding. Magnesium is another essential mineral that can aid good sleep. It also relieves muscle tension by encouraging the production of this amino acid called GABA and relaxes the nervous system. Magnesium rich foods are almonds, spinach, pumpkin seeds, and green leafy vegetables. To sum it up, healthy eating, moderately exercising, not overtraining, and evening wind down produces good sleep. Do check my video for yoga for good sleep. Share and subscribe to my channel if you like this video. Sleep well, folks. Take care. Namaste.